So like a great example would be like, let's imagine you have an incident and it's impacting customers and you're like, I want to update my status page, right? And so there's like the internal workflow of that might be like, well, now I need to coordinate with my customer support team because updating the status page, the reason you would do that, for example, is to give customers like insight that something's wrong so they don't go and raise a support ticket. Like if they can jump into the app and they get a little banner in there that says, hey, we're having problems, don't submit a ticket, we'll be back online as soon as possible. You sort of quell that demand and that sort of stems some of that. So that would be a workflow that the software that I'd written sort of would help with like just make the status page a bit easier. Then there's other workflows, which is like, well, the regulators, like if you're going to communicate with your customers and say you're having an incident and it's public, we also want to be notified because we're the regulator and we sort of sit across all of the banks. And that's like, well, how would you implement that? You say, well, engineers, while you're on call, if you're doing a status page, now you have to do that and communicate with customer support. And you also have to now communicate with the regulatory compliance team.
Gotcha.
And so it starts to become like, well, now my job is like admin on an incident, and you can take all of the sting out of those things and essentially go, well, when we put a status page up, why don't we just ping the team that owns the regulatory thing, and now no one has to do anything extra.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like a sort of a tight example, but like that's the kind of stuff that we solved back then. And then with Incident.io, we've sort of, I guess, dialed up to 11 to sort of make much more possible for people to sort of configure on the fly.